Namaskar, everybody. Today I'm going to discuss intentionally creating healthy bonds with others. So, creating a healthy bond with another human being, it's never something that's accidental, and it doesn't happen because we just simply share a roof or work together or spend time in the same room. Like, a real bond is something we choose to create with care and intention. And it's a lot like, I'd say it's a lot like tending a garden. If we don't plant the right seeds and pull out the weeds and water it regularly, then it can't grow into something nourishing and beautiful. So in the same way, meditation is like the inner cultivation of the soil. It's where we remove the weeds of old conditioning. We water the ground of awareness, and we allow the seeds of patience and compassion to grow. So without that inner practice, our outer attempts at bonding, they can really become easily entangled in our reflexes, our habits, our conditioning, our traumas, our wounds, our scars, all of these things. It can become, and oftentimes it does become, very difficult. And then all of these traumas, these new wounds that are being caused because of these old wounds, are then projected onto one another. And when a relationship is filled with shame and guilt, anger, victimization, I think the soil in this garden, it becomes poisoned, and nothing lasting can grow there. It just can't. And this is really important to recognize and to move with intention. Like, these emotions take root when the mind is restless, and when we identify too strongly with the storm in our lives. So meditation teaches us how to step back, how to breathe, how to see these storms as passing clouds. And in that space, we're less likely to project our unresolved pain onto the other person, and more able to meet them with openness and with clarity. So at the center of every healthy bond, from what I see, is active listening. And meditation is the great training ground for this. Active listening, it's not just hearing words while waiting for your turn to reply. It's much like sitting in meditation, where we allow thoughts to come and go without grabbing onto them. So in conversation, we allow words to arrive, we notice the feeling behind them, and we set aside our impulse to judge or fix or to prepare our rebuttal. So active listening is like holding out an empty bowl. We're ready to receive whatever the other person offers, anything it is, and we receive it with gratitude. Even if we don't like it, if we disagree, we can still speak our mind and say how we feel, but we do that from a space of respecting where they're coming from. And meditation helps us empty that bowl each day, so that when we come into relationship, we can truly hear. It's so important that when we speak about ourselves and our feelings and our experiences, instead of telling the other person who they are or how they should feel. So often, like, what we call communication is really just a monologue or a disguised command, right? And meditation makes us more aware of these tendencies. We begin to notice the subtle ways the ego tries to control or win, and instead we could choose openness instead of all of that. So when we share from our heart without controlling the outcome, it's like opening a window and letting fresh air into a room that's been shut for far too long. So dialogue can then happen. Dialogue. So curiosity awakens and connection deepens. So a dialogue is not just stating your point and your perspective and expecting the other individual to conform. That's coercion. So, that's a coercion and a monologue. So dialogue, it has openness and it naturally leads to empathy. Meditation shows us again and again and again that our own inner world is vast and layered. And when we see how complex we are, we realize that others are just as vast and complex. Their perspective will always be different from ours, always. And that difference isn't a threat, it's a gift. So we need to honor it without need to control is love in action. In meditation, we practice releasing control. And that surrender carries into relationship as empathy. So curiosity is another essential ingredient here, and meditation helps us embody it. And to sit each day and notice the ever-changing flow of thoughts and sensations is discover that life is always new. No two breaths are the same. No two moments of awareness are alike. This teaches us to look at others with the same wonder. Instead of relating to our memory of them or the image we've built of them in our minds, we see them as they are now. It's like walking through a familiar forest and suddenly noticing a flower that we've never seen before. Meditation opens our eyes to this freshness, and curiosity keeps that relationship alive, flourishing. And then there's vulnerability. So vulnerability is the willingness to show what is real inside of us, even when it feels uncomfortable. It's the courage to say, this is my fear, this is my hope, in a tactful, caring manner, meant to bring on resolve. So this is what hurts. Meditation makes us more willing to be vulnerable because in practice, we learn to sit with discomfort instead of running from it. Right? So we discover that this kind of pain, this fear, this tenderness, they're not permanent, and they don't define us. They move through us like waves. This realization gives us the courage to share openly without the armor of pride or defense. So when two people meet in this space, is deep safety is born. It's like standing by a fire on a cold night. Both feel its warmth and know they can return to it again and again and again. We have to remember with all of this something like it's very important topic to bring up, which is emotional flooding. So this emotional flooding, it destroys, absolutely obliterates connection. So when we overwhelm another person with the force of our emotions, they either shut down or explode. So nothing can grow in that storm, ever. Nothing is not a possibility. And meditation teaches us to regulate this flood. In practice, we notice how the mind races, how the body tightens, how emotion swells, and instead of pouring it outward, we sit, we breathe, we let the wave crest and fall. So this inner training means that in relationship we can bring clarity instead of chaos. We can bring calm instead of raging fire, hostility. So healthy bonds, they're not accidents. Like I said, they're gardens and fires and rivers, all of this. They're living things that require intention and presence and care. So meditation is the root system that nourishes all of these. So without meditation, we're constantly pulled by our conditioning, and our relationships become mirrors of unhealed patterns. So with meditation, we step beyond those reflexes and we begin to build bonds rooted in presence, empathy, curiosity, and love. So when we choose to cultivate relationships in this way, we give ourselves and others the rare gift of a bond that is safe and alive and endlessly renewing.